Okay, drawing a jellyfish. I have, first of all, I have a pencil extender there for my woodless colored pencils, my mixed media paper, and markers. So let's go. Okay, it is so hard to talk while I'm drawing and keep my mind going in the right direction, so I usually do these voiceovers. Let's see. Start off making a half moon shape there for the top of your jellyfish. Angle those little sides under so they look like it's, it's not a flat, straight across thing. It's got a little more dimension. There's little broken lines on the bottom. Both of those represent the edges of the jellyfish where the tentacles are going to all hang out. Let's see. Let's draw the inside first with whatever all this little stuff is that's going on inside there. I'm sure it's, jellyfish brain and jellyfish stomach or whatever else. But we're going to just fill in a little bit and make it look as much like a jelly as possible. So the reference I'm working from has a few things going on inside here, but, it's not overly complicated. So just draw a few things. We'll draw in a few of those little tentacles that are on the sides and on the underside. Just throw in some real simple lines like these. And then for the longer ones, just go ahead and put in some really nice shaped squiggly lines. I don't even know how to describe this to you. Just kind of fill in some loosey-goosey line work that looks like tentacles. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to come back in and use some markers, and let's fill in that top part first. I think that's the wrong blue, so let's swap up for something much better. That's nicer. I don't even know what that one is. Cerulean blue, if I remember it right. When you color over top of the colored pencil, it will actually make it become kind of, I don't know if you want to say liquid, but it'll spread the colored pencil. So you get a darker line for one, and for two, you can actually spread that pigment just a little further so it looks like you've picked up an extra marker. So you actually get this really nice little extra color to work with. So if you go over them, try to drag it inwards and try not to move it outwards to mess over any colors. But I think these are all the same. These are all blues, so they'll be fine. Go through that bottom edge there and just pick out those little shapes. And, there's all kinds of little stuff going on in here that you can add lots of details, or you can just do some, very flat shapes and it'll be fine. We'll go ahead and fill in the bottom details here. And there are a couple different colors, shades of blue rather, that we're going to use. So anything we can get from those colored pencil lines will be very helpful. Just fill in these little tentacles. Just give them a little bit of detail. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. Go back around that edge just a little bit and blend some of that in, because I kind of like that. It's kind of nice. It's a little off, but jellyfish are kind of free-formed anyway, aren't they? So that'll work out. Now, this blue for the inside is kind of where you can see through the jellyfish a little more and see the ocean behind it. So give a little bit of dimension. If we were using pastels, we could do a more blended area, just blended really smoothly. That's one great thing about pastels, is they really give a nice smooth edge that's almost kind of cloud-like. but we're working with colored pencils. So, colored pencils and markers, rather. So this will work out fine. Fill in some more of that along the bottom here, and just leave that top little edge open so that you have a line that separates those two. If you run that line together, it'll be harder to see that kind of dimensional thing you've got going on. Go in here and pick out some of those tentacles. I'm going to do a couple of different blue colors here, so just pick out some that you want to kind of push into the background, I'd say, with that dark blue. And then we're going to use our light blue again to really fill in it's always like a mass of tentacles hanging out underneath of those, so you can kind of get really loose and sloppy and it really doesn't show up. So have some fun with it. Just go in there and really make it something wacky. Just fill them in. Try to keep it to the center there. You'll be able to control it a little more. That big blade side will help spread the pigment a lot quicker. And that's a nice looking shape right there. It actually has a real kind of, that dark shape, so you know that there's a lot more going on underneath, but it doesn't have to be all picked out and detailed. Those details that are on there are pretty nice. So we'll darken it up a little bit more and then kind of run it into the underside there of the jelly, just a little bit there. Color in a little bit more of that and make it a little darker. And that looks pretty good. I'd say that's done.